Hello, everybody. You're very welcome today. We're going to have a conversation with Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. We're so happy to have her. And this information is for everybody worldwide so that we can share all what the EE system does. And to do this thing properly, we're really going to introduce Dr. Sandra with all her credentials. So I'm going to do this right and read it off the page. This is Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, and having taught holistic medicine for more than 4 decades, and her lifelong award-winning work in applied integrative biophysics has earned prestigious recognition such as the President and International Who's Who. Dr. Sandra has lectured at the Harvard Club New York, the University of Medical School Japan, and Mount Sinai Medical School, New York, the Royal Society of Medicine, London, the Scalar Research Experts Conference in France, the Academy of Anti-Aging and Regenerative Medicine in Taiwan, the Total Health Conference, Toronto, Canada, the World Summit of Integral Medicine, Mexico, and numerous medical schools and ministries of health worldwide. This lady has been a lot of air miles. Dr. Sandra has also been featured in various national newspapers and journal articles, including peer-reviewed published studies on autism and seizure disorder published in the Journal of Neurology Research. This is absolutely huge. Her invention, the true bioscalar fusion technology, the EE system, has been broadcasted widely on radio and TV and seen on CNN, Fox News, The Doctors, Wall Street Journal, and Beverly Hills Times. She's also awarded by the Chinese Qi Quan Grand Masters on Qi Technology of the Year in 2008, and that was the first time in the history of the world that the Chinese Qi Kong Masters, Grand Masters, has given an award for a technology that regenerates source Qi. This is huge. So, putting all this aside and welcoming Dr. Sandra Rose to this conversation, we're just going to go through a few different things because I don't want to miss anything. I'm just going to have it in front of me. So, for my introduction, my name is Josephine, and myself and my business partner Mohneesh have opened a centre in Inishowen. It's called Beyond Light Therapy. And we're very excited because we're bringing in the first 48 energy enhancement system unit outside of the US. So we're so lucky to have Dr. Sandra Rose with us so that she can explain exactly how the energy enhancement system works. You're very welcome, Dr. Sandra. We're so happy to have you.
Thanks for having me on. I'm really from Hawaii, so I always like to say aloha to everybody. Aloha, because it's really considered the most powerful word for the kahunas, for the Hawaiians. It means oneness with the breath, the sacred breath of life, oneness with that energy that interconnects our hearts and fills us with the love that we share. So it's oneness with that breath and the love of all life. And you're going to keep the love and let go of everything else. Love is letting go. So that's part of what our technology is really all about.
Yes. And we know that you integrated all your teachings into the technology. So, and I know you always begin with aloha for that deep breath and that perfect love. Perfect love. So we're going to begin with the intention for the interview, which is to share this information worldwide. We know that it will reach thousands of people because even from beginning last year and talking about the EE system coming to Inishowen, we have had so many phone calls and emails from people asking, when are you going to open? We are ready for this. We know what it can do because they're following Dr. Sandra Rose now for over 20 years. And since that interview came out with Jason Shirka on the 22nd of May 2022.
May 27, 2022.
May 27, yeah.
That's when the shift hit the fan of the revolution of healing that went out, and 70,000 emails in less than 24 hours from all over the world.
That's huge.
The planet, people are ready. It's a very powerful time, and we just want to bring healing to the world.
Yeah. That was huge. That we watched that interview. We didn't actually see it immediately, but we watched that interview, and whenever we seen it, it changed everything. It changed everything. My business partner Mohneesh, he heard of this information first, and he brought that information to me. And of course, I didn't look at it immediately because we're been working together for over a decade with holistic health and different products and just good intentions for healing, just like yourself. So of course we're aligned with all that. And but when he heard the information and we watched the video, there was going to be no going back. We just had to move forward. So within 24 hours, he had booked a flight to Israel to experience the technology, and that just sealed the deal. Yeah.
I think he's going to share his story too.
Yeah.
We have an really event. Powerful.
We have an event coming up, and he'll share his story at that event, and that'll be recorded for everybody to see. Yeah. So we've set the vibration. So you have embodied all your lifetime work into this technology. I'm sure that wasn't an easy task. You know, for humankind, animals and plants, they're all going to benefit from the scalar and the Bio-Photonic energy. Can you explain how you were ever going to do that?
I didn't know how I was going to do that. That's actually, so that, it was bringing everybody asked where it started. Yes. It started with my parents, right? In engineering physics. When they met in engineering physics, and they were both hyper genius scientists. My mother working on the bomb, my dad doing stealth bombers. And I'm going, how do we heal the world? How do we bring healing to the world? But I grew up then doing all of Tesla's experiments, all the science, transducers and receivers and transmission and all the different pieces of understanding electrical, mechanical, structural engineering and nuclear physics.
Yes.
And how that relates to the body.
Yes.
And healing, and how we can use that. But I literally know radiation from the inside out. And so this reverses all the issues of radiation, which is a huge piece, because we're living in such a toxic soup of electrosmog, the EMF, the ELF, the radiation, the microwave, all that bombarding the body 24/7. So then the body stays in that fright, flight, or fight, where all the body's energy is being geared to or used to cope with a hostile environment. Yeah. Then we have all the poisons in the air, the food, the water, and so the body never has a chance to really heal and repair and regenerate. Yeah. So this is creating that ideal, optimal, energetic environment. It's bioactive energy that we'd have in an ideal world, an ideal planet, really.
In an ideal planet, yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's just a hyper healthy, energetic environment. Nothing touches you. It's just, you see, it looks like 12 strands of DNA on the screen. Yeah. I mean, it actually looks precisely like out of the Genome Project.
Right.
Actually, but scrolling, and it's pretty. I mean, I'm blonde. It's got to be pretty. But it's creating the interface with the DNA and the photonic aspect. It's a polychromatic. That's your color therapy, like your ultimate color therapy with the lights. And the photons are your quantums of light, and we're colliding photons. But the photons are very important because our prime function of DNA is that storage of photons. We are bodies and beings of light. And so this helps activate that light within us, the core of our DNA is literally the light from the stars.
Yeah.
And so this activates the light within us. And it's phase conjugate wave pairs that come together. You got the scalar aspect, which the easiest way to understand scalar is an infinitely projected Mobius, that infinity wave.
Infinity wave.
And a true 0 point energy that allows the body to go into that space of dynamic homeostasis or balance, and where the body has all the energy then to do what it really wants to do. And these phase conjugate wave pairs come together at the intersection of the fields, creates an implosion and a release of charge.
Yes.
Okay, so people like to hear some of the science of it, but it's like you recharge your cell phone, but how do you recharge every cell of your body? And so it's like a wireless human battery charger, because every cell is like a mini battery meant to be functioning at minus 70 to 90 millivoltage when healthy.
Yes.
And disease and aging is taking all the energy coping with that hostile environment. So then cancer doesn't exist in the body till it's below 20.
Right.
So we're meant to be at 70 to 90 when healthy. So then when you have that implosion, the release of charge, it's charging up the cells, literally raising that cell membrane potential, that millivoltage of the cells, so that the power that made the body can heal the body.
Yes.
The body has the energy then to do what it
deal with
really
this.
wants to do, which is to heal
Yeah.
and function more and more perfectly and optimally and brilliantly,
Yeah.
because we want to trigger everybody's genius.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
high functioning, especially for our children, is just the healthiest energy that we could possibly have in an environment.
Yeah.
Nothing touching the body. How you use it is you take a nap. It's
Aye.
like the ultimate power nap.
Beautiful. Aye. Beautiful. Very non-invasive. You know,
Yeah.
all you have to do is come in and sit there, and because I've already tested it too, and just to come in and sit, and if you can have a nap, just power down yourself so that you can recharge. It's so it would be like if you're talking on the phone, you're not charging up properly. So close your eyes and allow yourself to charge properly.
And that is the good analogy.
Yeah.
It's recharging your body as quickly and easily as you recharge your cell phone.
Yeah.
And the more you relax, the more the body can use the energy.
Yeah.
But it's also helping take you to the ideal optimal brain states.
Yes.
You know, it's a deeper meditational state than a Tibetan monk.
Yes.
In 7 minutes is the actual research.
That's
that right-left brain synchronization.
Yeah.
An ideal meditational state. So you want to say all your prayers, set all your intentions. You're literally breathing light, photons of light while you're in there. You're breathing light, and the DNA is bio-photonic.
Yes.
And the interface with the DNA, the double helix of the DNA, is that scalar vortex. And so the body knows what to do with the energy. But how you best use it is like, it's kind of like defragging a computer.
Yeah.
Or your cell phone. It's not going to recharge as efficiently or effectively if you're still talking on it.
Still talking
It'll keep it from dying if you plug it in. So kind of like that in the room too.
Yeah.
But how it recharges much more efficiently if it's on sleep mode.
Yeah.
And that's where the body repairs and rejuvenates, is in the delta and theta brain states.
Yeah.
That's what allows all the organs to repair and rejuvenate, where the body, rather than, if the eyes are open, you're still externalizing the energy.
You're still using your energy because you're looking somewhere else and you're overthinking something.
Yeah, exactly. You're externalizing.
Yeah.
So to heal, you know, you want to internalize the energy, you know,
just
and
chill
breathe.
And breathe.
and go as deep as you can, and go to those deep meditational states, but take that power nap. And it's really sleep is where the magic is. But then there's the lucid dreaming and things like that. Did you experience that?
Well, what I did experience was it absolutely recharged me to the point that I believe that it works so well on the brain, on that left-right brain synchronization. So I was able to think more clearly, I had more energy, and I slept really well. I slept really well. At that stage of the journey, I know that it takes more than one night's sleep in it. It probably takes a couple of nights' sleeps to get to that, higher state of just relaxing into it. But the magic is in the night. The magic is in the night where you can just sleep and recharge, and there's no everybody's not the same. So the idea is that you try it. I suppose you try it, and then you see how you feel, and then like the gym, you go back whenever you feel like you need another run at it. Is that what? Would you agree with that?
It's kind of like that. It is cumulative, where the body takes the energy and reorganizes to a higher level of function.
Yes.
Continual reorganization to higher levels of function. So it's not like you drink, a gallon of water and then you're hydrated for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Clinical hydration is a gallon of water a day. It's not like you drink a gallon of water once.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have to keep with it.
It's cumulative.
Yeah.
And it's just healthy energy. There are no contraindications.
No.
It's just healthy energy for anybody and everybody who wants to function better. Mentally, spiritually, physically, performance-wise. We can never look too good, be too good, feel too good. And at my age, I mean, we're in our 70s. We're past 70 now. So we'd rather grow younger than older. And now we have telomere testing, which is actually showing, showing it. This was some of the original research, is that with, Baylor University and the top geneticists, they found it was repairing all the genetic damage, the breaks in the DNA, and lengthening telomeres. And the telomeres are that indicator for longevity. But that's true age reversal.
Anti-aging at its very best. And you're the fine example. You look absolutely fabulous, and your hair is gorgeous and so strong and healthy. You look great.
Thank you. It's great for growing hair.
Amazing. And
I just need more time in my own technology.
Yeah, I know, but you're all over the world, and on an airplane. There's a lot of miles in this bird. For anyone that wants to know about the science of the scalar energy or your teachings, I'm going to give everyone the link to that. It's newearth.university, and you look for the future of medicine, and put that on the desktop so that you're able to access that a little bit better. Isn't that right?
Right. That's a really good idea to have it on the desktop. It's the future of medicine, applied integrated biophysics. It's a 3.5-hour online course that we have with newearth.university.
Yes.
And so they can watch it as many times as they want in as many segments as they want.
Yes.
And it's 3.5 hours where I go through the science, the research, the clinicals, all that.
Yes.
But I'm also sharing, it's been over 45 years of teaching and helping people reverse dis-ease like cancer and things. So there's a workbook with it as well. And I share a lot of those, what I call my magic formulas.
Perfect.
that work.
Yeah, that work. That's exactly what people need access to. Because we can talk so much, and there's still a lot to talk about, but if they can look at that in their own time and use the workbook that's available to that, it'll give them an insight of what the future of health is here. It's here. It's been here, but you've been pioneering the way. So well done, you. Well done, you.
For those that don't know, you have to understand, I built my first scalar healing light chamber in 1978 in my spa.
78, sure.
But it was one person at a time. I had done all these experiments, all this research, had material from NASA, had power management equipment, but it was only one person at a time.
It wasn't going to be enough.
You can't heal the world one person at a time, practitioner dependent, all these things, but we saw miracles, reversals of leukemia and lupus and all kinds of cancers. And because when the body has the right energy, it just wants to heal anything and everything.
Perfect.
So we started with that in 1978.
My goodness.
And then this technology, people, it might be new to them, but began working with this project in the early 90s. 1996 was the first full system.
Yeah.
And that's when we began a lot of the, doing the research, doing the homework, laying the foundations. And the initial first clinicals with a Johns Hopkins trained oncologist who was in the top 1% of credentials of MDs. The initial clinicals were 2001 to 2002, 132 patient study. And so people can read that study, read that on eesystem.com.
Very good.
Stands for Energy Enhancement System, but eesystem.com, and there's a research page, and people can go there and find that study. And then, of course, we mentioned the peer-reviewed published study. This is the article about that. That was, it's just one of the most beautiful stories because it's what keeps me doing what I do in spite of everything we've been through.
Let's hear it.
I mean, because people don't even want to begin to know everything we've been through on this on this project.
I can only imagine because you were doing so good. Yeah.
It's not been an easy journey.
No.
In any way, shape, or form. But the story with this study, though, was we put it at the University of Hawaii Medical School starting about 19 years ago, I think now. It's been a while. It's been, with Dr. Terry Shintani, who's MD, JD, MPH from Harvard. High credentials, professor of medicine and chair of complementary alternative medicine, very well-known author, and so been University of Hawaii Med School with him for like 19 years. But so he called me up, and shortly after it went in, and said, "There's this little girl," and it was actually a sad story in that she had been having 8 to 10 grand mal seizures every single day. And as a mother of 4 myself, I mean, that's my passion. I have 4 grandbabies too.
Okay.
The grandbabies are 18 years old now, but
I know, they're still your babies,
but granddaughters. But as a mother, can you imagine what that would be like dealing with 8 to 10 grand mal seizures every single day? That started after the well baby visit, and so a clear case of autism and damage from that process. But they had tried everything. They had absolutely tried everything, allopathically and naturopathically, holistically. They had done chelation, for pulling the heavy metals. They had done all the dietary changes. They had even bought their own hyperbaric chamber.
My God.
And she was still having 8 to 10 grand mal seizures every day, and 8 to 10 petit mal, and they have the seizure logs and all that. And so Dr. Shintani called up, "Oh, is it safe? Is it okay?" I said, "Absolutely. Get her in there. Absolutely. It's fantastic for kids. Fantastic. It can only help, can't hurt." He's very scared. Well, what if? Because he's MD, JD, right?
Too,
the attorney part of him, the what ifs, and the liabilities, and oh my God,
insurance.
It's just healthy. It's just healthy.
And how do we explain this to medical doctors?
So doing the seizure logs, and she had her first seizure-free day after her 3rd 1-hour session.
The wee darling. God bless her.
Which was I mean, they have the records of it, and that's in the study. But very interesting, because then he called me up. I think it was, I have to double check, but it's the 8th or 9th, I think after her 9th visit, he called me up completely freaked out.
Because?
Completely freaked out. "Oh my God, she just had the longest seizure ever. Oh my God." I said, "That's great. Fantastic news." Because what happens is the body has the energy. When it has the charge, it wants to discharge everything that doesn't belong. And I said, okay, that means she finally released, the body discharged what started that in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what created it in the first place. It's called a Herxheimer process, but it's kind of a retracing of what created that in the first place as it's being pushed out.
Yes.
You might re-experience the same symptoms. And sure enough, after that, everything
settled.
Everything dropped to like nil. And but the moment for me that was the best. Why I do what I do. The whole reason for being for me.
Yeah.
It keeps me going. It's what feeds me are the miracles. I love miracles. But when the mother called me up and said, my daughter just smiled at me for the first time in years.
Yeah.
I have my thank you for giving me my daughter back.
Do you know, even if it was only one, but look at the many now that you're going to help.
Yes.
That's staggering. It's nearly emotional because in where we are today is in Buncrana, and there's an autism place here, and the entire nation of Ireland congregate here, the families of autistic children, because it's the best facility that we have. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So if we can help
they
children
need to know about
families,
this.
We're doing
and then this was published in the Journal of Neurology Research because a little girl less than 4 years old could not fake not having grand mal seizures.
No.
So there's no placebo.
There's no placebo. And she would be having her own issues, so she's not going to, she's enough to deal with the child herself. So there's no resistance to this. When you sit in this environment, you synchronize your cells to the environment. So all the little girl had to do was sit there.
Yeah,
that's all.
But the children, everybody comes in being bombarded 24/7. There's so many toxins, and of course, what's connected to some of those issues are the heavy metals, the aluminum, the mercury, and things like that. Now the body has the energy to discharge that, and so it's really important. But all they do is they come in, the whole body goes, finally in a pristine environment where we can finally relax. And then it's very, very important after that, what I call the world's easiest detox.
Yes.
Because now the body has the charge.
Yeah.
So now it wants to discharge. It's trying to push the toxins, whatever toxicity, heavy metals, etc., out through every nook and cranny of the body.
Yeah.
And so the world's easiest detox then is a salt bath.
Yes.
A minimum of, I don't know what you call it here, two cups of salt.
Yes.
A pound of salt.
Yeah.
Maybe a kilo.
But what we're going to do is put your recipe on the link below, so that the people that are looking at the video, everyone worldwide that's looking at this video will be able to see Dr. Sandra Rose Michael's detox recipe. And it's vitally important when you activate all this cellular activity and the body wants to clean house, the detox is essential.
Essential, absolutely. Nothing does what a bath does. And this is an old, lost, I don't know why it's not understood, because that was in, anatomy, physiology 101, that the skin is the largest organ of elimination. Yeah. And the skin's the third kidneys.
Yeah.
So why are we not supporting kidney function and all that? But the salt, pulls like a magnet. The toxins are a positive charge. The salt's a negative charge, so it pulls like a magnet, but it also works with the potassium-sodium pump in the cells, like the alkaline battery. Yeah. The salt will pull the acidity out, so it helps alkalinize all the tissues.
So easy.
And you just breathe, let everything dissolve into the water, and the things we see in that water, mind-boggling.
Scary.
For a little boy with autism, his mother was a doctor, and she put him in the technology, the EE system, and then did the bath, and the water turned black. And she'd already done chelation and all that for pulling heavy metals, but the water turn black. And so you never know what you're going to see in the water. Sometimes it's green, it's sand in the bottom, it's slimy, oh my gosh. We've seen it all. But the body, that's how fast the body wants to let go of anything that doesn't serve our greatest light, our light force energy. Yeah. Because we are really bodies and beings of light.
Of light. Stardust. Mm-hmm. That was a great conversation even there, but we're going to take it a little bit further. So you grew up doing Tesla's experiments, which is very interesting. I'm sure you don't do boring at all. Yeah. So we know that the scalar energy has an infinity field of pure positive energy. Is it possible, because I know sometimes you're restricted as well, we're all restricted what we can say and what we're allowed to say.
Well, we're not making any medical claims here. Let's make sure we got that real clear. It's illegal to heal, fix, or cure anything or diagnose. So, no, this is just healthy. We're not treating disease. No. This is just healthy energy. That's all. The power that made the body heals the body.
But am I true in remembering this properly, that with Tesla, he understood that scalar energy influenced white blood cells and lymphocyte production? Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, we do have on the research page some of that research by Dr. Glenn Ryan.
Yeah, okay.
The Stanford, Harvard biophysicist, and how it increases lymphocyte production, being in a scalar field or environment. So it really steps up, what people need to know is it really steps up immune function.
Yes.
Yeah. And I have to say, even at my age, even with 5 million air miles, I'm here to heal the world, so I've been all over it. Yeah. Even with all the attacks on me, bioweapon exposures, etc.
Yes.
I was just my daughter and I were tested by somebody who said we had the highest immune function of anybody they'd ever tested.
My goodness. Well done.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the technology really, really, really works to support optimal function.
Yeah, on a cellular level. And
down to the DNA level.
Yeah.
And actually working even beneath that. It's releasing
mitochondria.
Yeah, the mitochondria, quadrupled mitochondrial activity in an hour. That's your power plants of the cells. That's our energy production, the ATP production. But it really starts much deeper because it's a fusion technology. We're colliding photons, photonic fusion. It's a fusion type event called nuclear fusion type event that creates something called hydrobifurcation.
Keep talking.
Okay. People, they're not going to get a test on after the video, but hydrobifurcation is a very cool word.
Okay.
But it's very exciting. With the fusion, it creates a hydrobifurcation, which is a release of the active oxygen, at least 4 or 5 atoms as far as the research, of active oxygen. So you've got your ultimate oxygen therapy, where you can look at the red blood cells. You've seen some of the blood study work where the red blood cells are perfectly oxygenated, where it's carrying all the oxygen to the brain for high brain function, oxygenating the brain. So it's kind of a natural high that way, because the way it works with the brain states and super learning states, but that oxygenation, which was really important to consider during these last few years, right?
Absolutely. Especially with lockdown and mental health and people that have received their injections because that's what they chose to do. But whatever we can do to fix the brain and that coherence, that left-right brain. Yeah. So it oxygenates, it hydrates the cells.
Yeah. So you've got the oxygenation, they act like your ultimate oxygen therapy on one hand, and that hydrobifurcation releases the active hydrogen atoms. And that's your ultimate antioxidant. So you've got your oxygenation and your ultimate antioxidant. You don't want that's why just hyperbaric doesn't work. Because then you've got more oxidative stress, perhaps. So
you're looking for balance.
The active hydrogen is your pH. power of hydrogen, the hydrogen potential. And everybody knows the work of Dr. Otto Warburg.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cancer can exist in an oxygenated system.
You know,
there has to be a hypoxic environment. Also cannot exist in an alkaline environment. There has to have been acidification of tissue. So the acidification, well, this is balancing the pH because of the active hydrogen. But the other benefits of that, I mean, the hydration, obviously, and we can talk a lot about that too. But that pH, that active hydrogen, is we actually have like hydrogen-powered fuel cells. That's what's fueling mitochondria.
Yes. Okay.
Hydrogen-powered fuel cells. But the other thing is, okay, so with the radiation, whether it's off your cell phone, your Wi-Fi, your smart meters, or the radiation from Fukushima, it unzips the DNA. It breaks those bonds in the DNA. Well, this is a unified field, puts the DNA back to its original divine design, and then that active hydrogen can repair the covalent hydrogen bonds in the DNA itself.
Repairing the DNA.
So, so some of my doctors will say, if you have DNA, anything that has DNA, get in this. It can only help, can't hurt. Pacemakers, everything. It's designed to make anything and everything, support any and every healing modality to work better. Because that's how it really works. But the hydrogen piece is huge, and then the hydration, because a lot of dis-ease in aging is simply acute chronic dehydration. Well, some of the research you can see is 28% reduction in surface tension of water. So it restructures water. What it does for wine, very special. But makes it very, very smooth. And that restructuring, so you can actually get the hydration, into the cells.
Into the cells. We're going to talk about the pendants and the bracelets in a little while, about how that helps make the water nice and fresh and clean, and restructuring it towards your personal intake. Is that right?
Yeah, they're very personal. This is the high tech. Oops, not that one. The high tech and the low tech model, and the bracelets. Also, the bracelets, the blood runs through it, so it really works with the circulation. It's on a pulse point, and the bracelets are very handy in that you can just pop them off and hold it to your glass of wine or water and restructure it. And you can actually feel it. That active hydrogen is heavy.
It gets heavy.
And so in about 45 seconds, you feel it get heavier. You can taste it before. I tell people that with the wine especially, we love doing wine tasting, but because it makes it healing substance. But with the water, you can also taste it, and you can feel when it gets a little heavier. It takes about 40 to 45 seconds or so. When you feel it get heavier, then taste it again, because it's restructured and it's reduced that surface tension. So these are very handy to work with that way. And then the medallions are actually much stronger. It does like a 5-foot cocoon, and people can put that anywhere on their body to, instead of aspirin, for example, or people use them for their eyes. They put them in an eye mask or in their knee brace or wherever there's an issue where you like more energy. But it's also a way to maintain all the benefits of being in the technology, so that, and it's designed, how they really work is they interface with the DNA or with the red blood cells. It's that same shape, that tube torsion field. Torsion fields, it's that infinity loop, right? And that's where the red blood cells are. So it reminds the red blood cells to stay in integrity, to stay in their original design. It reminds the DNA how to stay in its optimal.
How to behave.
Yes.
How to behave.
Yeah. It reminds it of its original divine design, because we have designer genes.
Absolutely.
Really. So it reminds it so that we stay strong and stay in integrity no matter what we're exposed to. It's not protection from. It's very different. It's a transmutation of energy into beneficial. like electrical precursors for the body, so to speak, energy precursors, and reminding of function and energy. That's naturally our innate intelligence. So it reminds the body how to stay strong no matter what we're exposed to.
And no matter what we're exposed to.
Because, and really it goes down to, as we radiate light, nothing that is not of the light can affect us.
Yeah. That's strong words. That's strong words. And you have the experience to back up all of that. You know, you're on this road many years from your small child.
We love miracles, but with this, it's been seeing the miracles. You know,
Yeah.
initial clinicals 2001, and now people can go now to Unified Healing, UNIFYD, unifiedhealing.com. You know, Jason Shirka has organized that very well.
Yeah.
And the miracles, you know, we have close to 500 centers now in over 50 countries. Yeah, we want to heal the world, but the miracle stories are coming in 24/7 from all over the world. And what's unique about unifiedhealing.com is you can put in a keyword search and see what people are reporting, whether you want to look keyword what people have experienced with the medallions, or you want to look up whatever issue that might be presenting as a health issue and things like that.
And you can correlate it to your own needs and have all the information there so you can access that.
Yeah. And he does, and there are beautiful interviews with some of the system owners as well from the different centers.
Yeah.
And he calls it the miracle stories.
Yeah. And they are miracles.
The blind seeing, the lame walking, the deaf hearing. We love miracles, but really it's just our divine nature.
Yeah.
And we are activating that light from within us.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. We know the red blood cells have a plus and a minus charge. Does blood type matter? Your different blood type?
With this, no.
Not really, no. It was just an interesting question, and with all the conversations, I just wondered, there was a few people asked me, does it matter about your blood type? Because some people eat for their blood type.
Right.
But it doesn't matter in the scalar energy.
No, but it is very important to eat right.
Yeah.
And it is good to mention that. This is holistic health, means looking at everything. And it's about giving you the energy to make healthier, more intelligent, more informed choices.
Yeah.
So you're going to play that out with the food first, right?
Yeah.
You cannot expect to be hyper healthy if you're still poisoning yourself.
Yeah.
And the other thing is quit paying to poison yourself and put the poisons in the cleaners and all these different things.
And wondering what happened. Well, you know,
it's called marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually mind control, but they get you to eat things. They make them hyper addictive. It's called food science,
I know.
And they make it addictive. And sodas, one of the worst things ever for health.
Too much sugar.
Not just the sugar; it's acidic.
Yeah.
It's the pH of a battery acid, really, 2.5 pH. I mean, the best thing used for a soda is to clean the oil spills in your garage or something.
We know
it's great for that.
It's great for that.
But it's, you know, the body has to pull the calcium and you know, pull all the minerals from the bones and everything to counter, because the blood has to maintain a specific pH.
Yeah.
So the body's going to pull the calcium out of the teeth, out of the bones, everything else.
Yeah. I know that when women reach a certain age, that they have this Dexter scan to do the hormones because they're afraid of brittle bones. But the brittle bones come from the diet as well.
Yeah.
You know, very
the
much
acidity, the acidification,
Yeah.
and then the body pulling the calcium out of the bones. Also, fluoride can influence, creates brittleness of bones.
Yeah.
Again, one of those toxins that have been endemic at this point. So, you know, you want to give the body the energy, but also our technology, part of the research, is you can listen to, there's an interview with Dr. John Orava, who's a Pentagon biophysicist.
That must have been so interesting.
Oh, it was fascinating.
So interesting.
You know, when he was brought to meet me, but he explains how there's the bone regeneration energies in this. And so one of my recent stories that ties into that is I met a woman in Florida. She had slept in the 40-unit system. You're having 48 here, but she had slept in the 48. But she had been diagnosed. She had cancer, stage 4, through it started as breast to lungs to liver to through her bones. Her whole body was filled. And she began sleeping in the system, and she also used meditation.
Yes.
You know, like we have our healing meditation
Good
out
intention,
there.
yeah.
But she used Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, which is great.
I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she used that. She changed her diet. She did detox. I think she did coffee enemas.
Yes.
Things
I'm
like
familiar
that.
with
Old,
that. Yeah.
old, you know, her old thing for cancer with Gerson therapy.
Yes.
There's a right place for everything.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah.
For the enemas. Anyway, she did that process. She went back to her doctor, and he was blown away, of course, no trace of cancer. What blew him away even more, as she just explained this to me, was that the bones, where the bone cancer had been, the bones had totally regenerated and remineralized.
My goodness. That's just a miracle.
Yeah, and that's just one story. But the bone regeneration, I know I had mine tested being in my 70s. Yeah, and the doctor, and she's a NASA scientist as well, but she looked at our bones, my bone density, and she said that it was 3 times or something. She goes, "You could fall off a roof and not break." That's what she said to me.
Solid and flexible and strong.
Yeah.
And your mind's agility to move with things. I would imagine for sports, this is just a whole recovery room.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, for performance, but injury recovery.
Yeah.
And trauma recovery. But, you know, post-surgical healing is off the charts. It's just, the body wants to heal. And it just reminds the body, well, it's activating and mobilizing the body's stem cells. You wouldn't see what we're seeing with all the stories.
Yeah, we are not able to do that type of testing. That's why it's great to hear it from you.
Yeah. But it's activating and mobilizing the body's stem cells. And that's how you have somebody with severed spinal cord to full function. It's medically impossible.
Yeah.
But it's not when you understand how the stem cell, but you don't have to pull the blood, spin it, re-inject, or take stem cells from some other, all that $30,000 stem cell treatment. No, just go into the E system, take a nap, and let your body's own stem cells, you know, get to work for you. Because that's how we heal fast as a child.
Yeah. And the body's capacity to heal. So we would never, my background, sports injury therapist, as well as reflexology and Indian head and a few other amazing things.
Oh, perfect that you're running a center then.
Perfect. But I would never say that I could heal anything. And we're not able to say that, but it's not true anyway. But our only thing is that we can keep the body clean, and the body will heal itself. You know, if a footballer came and they had a cut or
you want to support the healing.
We just support the healing, and the body, in its genius, is quite capable of knowing exactly what to do.
The infinite innate intelligence of our own bodies versus making it wrong. We're not treating dis-ease. We're just supporting health.
Supporting, cocooning it. So what else? So how can the scalar energy and the biophotonic light, how can this translate to the health of the brain and the heart coherence? Because as well as the brain and the heart being a muscle, we're looking for the spirit to heal and all the trauma of the generations, and we're carrying all that. Is there a simple way to explain that?
A simple way to explain the generational healing. It's in the genes.
It's in the
The DNA carries all the information, all the wisdom. So we're calling forth the wisdom, the highest potential of our DNA, of our lineage, of that ancestral knowledge, and really want to call that forward. So it has that kind of effect, but it also has that effect of the release of the traumas. Behind the physical toxicities is the emotional toxicities.
Absolutely.
And
the emotional first sometimes,
Yeah, and it's old accumulated stuff. But but as we radiate light, and have that charge, everything else that doesn't support our greatest life can be let go of in the process. And people have all kinds of emotional ahas and experiences where, it's giving you the energy, you're using the energy to turn up the volume on your own inner knowing and letting yourselves know whatever there is to know that allows everything to heal as issues in your body, your life, your relationships, our families, our communities, and for the whole world.
It can heal relationships, and especially the relationship with yourself.
Well, it's all within us, really. And brain dominance is domination issues. There's been a long history of
all of that,
domination, and that's victim. So we can let all that go. This is about that remembrance of who we are, all that we're here for, as divine sons and daughters of God.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And then you come from that point of balance, rather than reacting to everything from outside of self. That's outer reactive. It's a fear reaction pattern. Instead, you come from that point of center, where you have all the energy, rather than being stressed out by the stressors. Now you have all the energy to respond to all the stressors appropriately.
Beautifully put. Beautifully put.
We have the research on that, the personality orientation inventory study. That's a psychological study that's also been done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Where would we find that?
On the research page.
On the research page.
Yeah, and I do discuss it also in that course.
Perfect. That's fine. That's fine. I'll just say that we have many issues here in Donegal. Many. And we're a little bit, I wouldn't say isolated from medical help, but there's just a lot of ongoing issues. So we have cardiovascular, kidneys, hormones and fertility, psoriasis and skin, cancer, autism, mental health, Lyme disease, and lungs and long COVID. It's a lot, and I don't want to talk about every single thing, but would you like to talk about that? How this E system will help that?
Yeah, it can only help, can't hurt, but we have seen miracles across that whole genre, all of it. I did want to go back to, you asked about the brain-heart coordination. That's your heart rate response variability. And that's a really important thing to, we've done that research as well, but creating coherence. It's the principle of coherence. Part of one of the symptoms of scalar is things moving at superluminal velocity, beyond the speed of light. That's why it's come beyond light therapy, beyond the speed of light, superluminal velocity, but the information superhighway, and everything's coherent in the body. So, and coherence is that state of also no impedance. And so another symptom of scalar is that superconductivity.
Yes.
So even the lab research with the medallion found a 28% increase in the conductivity of DNA.
My goodness.
That's why you feel these, and they work so fast, 1.4 times the speed of light.
Yeah.
It's fast.
Yeah. Super fast.
Yeah, so that superconductivity and no impedance to the energy and information processing through the whole body.
Okay.
It's like an information superhighway. So reminding the body, giving it the energy to heal and function more perfectly, no matter what.
No matter what.
And that release, be willing to support the detox. Drink that water, do the salt bath, and also make sure the bowels are moving.
Yes.
You let shift go.
Let shift go.
But and get excited about the detox. Yeah. Because, there can be that retracing or that re-experiencing of old symptoms on their way out. The medical version would be to suppress those symptoms.
Yeah.
No, this you want to get excited about. As fast as it comes up, that's how fast it'll clear out.
Yeah.
You don't want to stop the process and hold on to it and reabsorb it and stuff it back in.
Yeah.
You want to get right back in the system, do the salt bath, drink the water, make sure the bowels are moving, get right back in the system, give the body more energy to be able to move the rest out.
Yeah.
To be able to give the body the energy to do what it really wants to do rather than stopping the process.
Yeah.
Because if you're not using our technology at this point, it's like we're living in a microwave.
Yeah.
Everybody's, being...
nuked.
Yeah.
And
so you can't expect to be super healthy. It's not like you're going to stay in the microwave and expect to get healthier.
Yeah. Well, the people that have a mindset to be well or to be better, they're going to find this information because they'll be attracted to the information and they will find us.
Yeah. And can never have too much good energy.
You can never have too much good energy. So we know that. It's all about the energy from morning to night. All you're looking for is another bit of energy to do a little bit more. And people work towards having coffee or, a lunch break with a lot of bread and stuff. Not healthy. Not so much healthy.
Not healthy.
And that will that in turn will give you the high for the minute, but then you'll have the slump.
Yeah, the sugar raise the blood sugar and then it crashes. Or the soda.
Or the soda,
yeah. The yo-yo and that creates your diabetes and all that stuff because of that yo-yo. Yeah, we're meant to be,
Zen.
Yeah.
So this list of things that I just talked about, it really doesn't matter what presents itself in your individual body. The EE system will work on all them issues.
Yeah. Well, it's your body
trying to do the healing.
The power that made the body heals the body. This is kind of like plugging back into that cosmic light socket. With an ideal, optimal, energetic environment we'd have if we had heaven on earth.
If we had, well, please God, this will be all. We're all going in the one direction,
and it's not one person at a time or practitioner dependent, or the more the merrier.
Yeah, the more that. When myself and Mohneesh heard about this information, we knew that your intention was to have this go out fast to the world. So this energy has been fast. So you've reached so many countries at this stage. But I know that means you have to do a lot of travel. But that's a good thing. That's a good
not
thing.
New.
That's not new. No, that's not new. With the talking and the way that you're answering the questions, I have very little to talk about now because you've already covered most of it. Can you explain what being in this what Lismanon might look like? Our units are going to be in the ceiling. So when people come in...
Oh, yours are in the ceiling?
Ours are going to be in the ceiling.
All 48?
All 48.
Oh my gosh.
Aye.
I didn't know that.
It's going to be so exciting. So I know. And it's wheelchair access. And so that's for everybody to come in, and there's going to be 10 beds and 16 recliners for during the day. It's going to be so good. But we put a lot of work into this. So the intention is that people will have it, and we're going to have it as affordable and accessible to everybody. Yes. So when we get a little bit of traction, we'll be able to sort out group visits and, for autistic children and their families or their carers, so they can come in and be themselves. And
at 48 unit, that's like double DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so smooth. It's like people go, oh, it might be too much energy, but it's more energy to move the toxins and move the health forward with greater ease. Yeah. Less detox less detox symptoms per se, and it's just so smooth. It's like silk. But you'll have more units here than the Sultan in Abu Dhabi. He has 24 units in a circle in his home. Yeah, Tony Robbins sleeps with 24 units around his bed. We have a new 48 unit system that's already gone in where Tony Robbins is a partner in.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Las Vegas.
We heard about
we'll
that.
be doing that grand opening now too. But it's 8 towers of 6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
in that
We
one.
thought about the towers, and then we decided to do it in the ceiling because you want people to be comfortable, but everybody, all the owners are doing what they can because everybody wants it. So,
yeah, and each
everything's good.
installation is totally custom to the space,
exactly,
custom to the vision. I didn't want it a franchise or anything like that because we want you to create your own vision for your healing temple, your healing sanctuary, your healing clinic or center. Each one is totally unique, and each one is designed for that your own space and vision because they're precisely aligned. Everything's all laser aligned to perfection to create that standing column or wave in precision.
Yeah. Alina and Yarka will be doing the installation. And
they're going to be working on that because that means they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down, up.
Yeah.
Trying to get all of it absolutely precise.
Just laser line, and two genuine souls, really nice. And in Ireland, we're striving to collaborate. So there's already 3 other centres going to be joining us in this whole Ireland mission. So whoever in Ireland needs a centre, we'll be sending them to the nearest centre because it doesn't matter if it's 4, 24, but whatever energy you can get is better than nothing.
Yeah, it all works. It all works.
It all works. It's amazing, and we're so. Can you mention about the shoes being removed or there no cell phones in the centre? Is that a good idea?
Well, and no shoes. I mean, as a biophysicist, you don't want everybody bringing all the garbage off of whatever they stepped in the street into a pristine environment.
Yeah.
But we want people to be comfortable too.
Yeah.
But also, to have a cleaner environment.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that's
available.
It's been the standard with the Asian countries and India to take off the shoes. So that absolutely, and from a scientific perspective, you don't want the dog dung brought in or whatever.
All clean, yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
And the cell phones, I mean, it's the healthiest place in the universe to use a cell phone is in the system. However, it's going to distract people from their own healing or distract somebody else's healing.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Because it's a shared environment. It's a shared environment. I wanted to talk about the last couple of things. So we're so proud to be part of Jason Shirka and his work with humanity through unified healing. And we know that you and he collaborated on the, financially and being producers of the film, The Sound of Freedom. We went to watch that. I mean, we're so proud to be part of all that. A little tiny bit, but that works phenomenal. He's so good. So we just wanted to mention that as well.
Sound of Freedom was such an important project in bringing that awareness forward because really the underpinning of everything has been the child trafficking and the satanic ritual abuse, and that's really the underpinning. So we felt it was vitally important to support Sound of Freedom and being brought out to the world. And we made Jason Shirka, he got made the executive producer of Sound of Freedom, and we pushed that out, and it's huge now. There's more and more information coming out, but it also goes back to when I did that interview with Jason Shirka. I was wearing my Save the Kids t-shirt.
Yes, I've seen that. Yes,
and that's really why we do what we do.
Yeah. And my last part is that you're ready to receive yet another accolade, a Lifetime Achievement Award. So the 2024 Pythagoras Award at Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo. That's so exciting. That's so exciting.
A surprise. That was a surprise.
No, that's so good and well deserved. Well deserved. On top of all the many awards that you've received over the years, but I suppose our wish for you is you continue your work, stay in good form, and hopefully come back again.
Thank you.
It's a
It's
pleasure
beautiful
talking
here
with
in
you.
Donegal. I think this is going to be a fabulous place for people to come
Fabulous.
for retreat back into realignment with themselves and their cells and their selves, and beautiful, beautiful energy here.
So looking forward to it.
Thank you for having the EE system
No,
and bringing it to the world and
We're
sharing.
So blessed.
I mean, the only thing beyond our love is more fully shared love. And this is sharing those infinite waves of love, aloha, that oneness with that breath and the love of all life. And thank you for letting me share with you.
You're very welcome. Aloha. Thank you, everybody. And we look forward to greeting you in Beyond Light Therapy in Inishowen.